be honest, I've not recorded a video in a few weeks because I've really not felt in a very good place at all. Every time I set out to record a video, I would just talk myself out of it. I tell myself that nobody really cares, that there's no point, and that basically that I should just give up. I mean, I've been trying to just keep plodding on and keep looking after myself, I suppose, but it's not been in the right way. It's been a particularly stressful time at school with exams, but also recently, this week in particular, we got some really upsetting news. And although it didn't directly affect me as such, it also did directly affect me in terms of the implications and the kind of topic it was all about. But I don't want to make that particular event about me because it isn't. But it did affect me, and I can't lie about how it has affected me. But it's not really my place to talk about that. But I have really been struggling with my food. It's been, as it always is, I suppose, it's that thing that I'm both fearful of it, yet also it's the thing that I end up looking forward to when it comes to the end of the week or even just the day. I remember telling myself at the start of this week I just had to get through this week because it's a particularly stressful one in terms of exams and such like, and then I got to the end of it eventually, and yet the first thing I did after a very stressful day was I came home and I just ate and ate and ate and ate, and I'm not quite sure why I have to do it, because I don't get why I would keep doing something that upsets me so much. It's like every time I do it, I get more and more anxious as I'm doing it, and then that anxiety makes me do it more and more, and it just makes no sense. And I know I need to get back to doing these videos because they were making a real positive impact upon me, so I shouldn't take that away from myself just because I was really having that struggle. I've tried my best to be open with people about how I've been struggling. I've also actually self-referred myself for some talking therapy. Lincolnshire are trialling some kind of thing about self-referral for mental health support. And I've been on this waiting list for adult services for such a long time. It almost makes me worry that I'm not on the list because I haven't heard anything in such a long time that I thought I've got nothing to lose by trying this self-referral, and hopefully I'll be able to get some kind of professional help from it. I guess I've been so stubborn, what with my recovery via Instagram and stuff. I just kept telling myself, just do it yourself, sort it out yourself, but I need to remember that it's okay to ask for help, and it's okay for me not to have everything worked out. Because I do pride myself on having intelligence, and it always upsets me when I somehow can't work something out, or I can't adapt, or I can't fix something, or I can't be flexible, because I don't know, it's kind of strange. It's like I identify myself as someone who should be able to do those things, and I set those kind of boundaries and expectations that I should be able to do those things. And I suppose I have always sort of grown up with people having quite high expectations of me, and although that's a great thing in many regards, I also feel like sometimes I have a long way to fall. And I so desperately want to just treat myself healthily and look after myself properly, and it just infuriates me how I can't seem to do it, at least not for a sustained period of time. I just don't understand how, as somebody who's so invested in trying to improve both my own health and hopefully in the future improve the health of others, how I can't seem to do this. And I know that I can, so it's not that I'm telling myself I can't because I know I can, yet me knowing and me doing are two different things. I'm really not sure where to go from here. It seems like every week I have some kind of rerun of the same thing. And quite honestly, it feels like sometimes my life is just I eat food and I go to school and I go to the gym some days, and then if I don't do that, I just come home and I just sit and I just wallow and I stress and I just feel anxious and don't know how to sort of do things. It's like I can't just relax. I can't just pop the TV on. I just get stuck in my routine of doing nothing but stress. And sometimes I do manage to keep myself being practical. Like, for example, on Wednesday, which was the day that I heard that really devastating news, I did manage to keep quite practical, quite on my feet, and managed to look after myself. Yet today, the day when I thought perhaps I've got through today, I thought I'd be more relaxed when I came home, but it's like all of the pressure that had been mounting up and building up, I felt like I had to release it, and being me, I tried to cope with it by eating too much. And it was ridiculously too much, and it was the same thing as always, coming up with those excuses in the moment to not really focus on the food, yet to give myself an excuse to just have more. And I know I need to be mindful, but when you're not in a mindful state, being mindful is just so difficult. And it really makes me feel like I'm really ungrateful because I've got so much going for me and I've got so many people supporting me and I've got all these wonderful opportunities, yet I somehow still can't manage. It makes me think, like, what more am I supposed to do? What more are other people meant to do as well? Like, what more could be done? Because surely everything is here to help me overcome this. And why am I not able to do it? I mean, I know it's a battle in my mind, and that's probably one of the hardest battles I'm ever going to have to face, because when you perceive things a certain way, trying to change your perception is incredibly difficult because you see everything as you've always seen and perceived it. But I know I didn't used to perceive things in this way. Even before my first sort of round of disordered eating many years ago now, I didn't used to think like this. And so that proves that in the past I had different ways of perceiving things. And of course, part of that will have been through growing older and stuff like that, but it is possible to think differently. I'm just so hesitant to hold out hope that talking therapy will somehow fix it, because it sort of makes me feel like I'm waiting for someone else to fix it when I know in reality it's in my brain. And of course there's also that fear that I'll be stuck on a waiting list for so long that I won't get help anytime soon anyway. I guess all I can do for now is make some kind of action step for what I'm going to do for the rest of tonight. Because actually I'm so glad I've recorded this and just talked it out, because earlier I felt like I needed to talk and I just couldn't.